South of Midnight released in early April for the Xbox Series X and S for $40 and was a day one release on GamePass. Developed by Compulsion Games, it's directly published by Microsoft and is an Xbox console exclusive as of the writing of this review. With graphics powered by the Unreal Engine 4, a 10 to 12 hour campaign, and a fairy tale like narrative, is South of Midnight worth playing on the Xbox console? This review is going to answer that question. But first, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to reaching 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and it's thanks to people like you for subscribing.
Is that from our house? Crouton? I never thought I'd be so glad to see you.
Let's start with the technicals of South of Midnight. There isn't a performance or quality mode here, meaning you're stuck with what the developers give you. Thankfully, they did a fantastic job of optimizing this game for console. It maintains its 60 FPS, all while keeping amazing graphical fidelity, good draw distances, and gorgeous environments. I didn't have any technical issues, there were no slowdowns, no crashes, no bugs. I did get stuck on objects a few times, but nothing serious, and it would resolve itself pretty quickly. For the graphics, South of Midnight is a looker. There is no arguing that. The graphics are stunning, with these lush, beautiful levels that have both verticality and interesting things happening all over the place. The colors really pop. But it's the art direction that takes South of Midnight to that next level. The maps have this fairy tale-like quality to them, with things like massive creatures, giant peaches, bottle trees, and all sorts of things out of folklore that really builds the world with just its looks alone. There is no reason for the game to tell you something because you can see it for yourself all around you. The characters, both human and these mythical creatures, have a unique art style that is sort of like Tim Burton's stop motion combined with the theme of everything being sewn or crafted like dolls or toys. At first, it made it seem like the characters were stuttering, but that's an artistic choice that becomes more apparent as the story goes on. And that all ties into the fact that this story is being told by someone who is an unreliable narrator. It's possible that these worlds didn't exist and they're making this up, or it's true, who knows. But what is a fact is that South of Midnight is a gorgeous game.
What is all this racket?
Hey, Grandma?
Is that Hazel? You've gotten taller. What brought you sopping wet to my doorstep this evening?
I told her you were resting, but she just...
Nonsense, Lily. That's my only grandchild down there.
Let's briefly touch on the narrative and the story without giving away too many spoilers. You play as Hazel Flood, who is packing up her room because of a hurricane, when her house washes away with her mother in it. Hazel falls into the river and is saved by strange powers, which pluck her out of danger and set her on the ground once again. Kind of like how Mario Kart, when you fall over the side of the track and the guy that picks you up and puts you back on. From there, Hazel learns that she is a weaver, someone who repairs the world around her when the storm unleashes creatures formed from these negative emotions. It's a bit confusing, especially because it's tied very closely to southern US folklore, something that I'm not really familiar with. The game provides you with a codex, but it's very general in its terms. However, you don't really need to know much about the folklore of this world, and you can easily go with the flow, the story still works. Hazel is looking for her mother, and the entire game is set around that search, with her meeting mythical characters out of folklore and helping people along the way. Right off the bat, the story is excellent. It's well acted, it's perfectly paced, and it's emotional. The cast of characters are interesting, and there's enough twists and turns to keep you hooked. Unfortunately, the excellent story and graphics can't make up for the game's combat.
Strands.
Yeah. There's something big out there.
Lily,
Yes, ma'am?
clearly my granddaughter is not in her right mind right now. Afraid for her mother and all.
Gameplay in South of Midnight is made up of two portions, traversal and combat. Combat sucks. It's button mashing, the enemy variety never changes, and each combat encounter is in a clearly defined arena that is the same at the start of the game as it is at the end. The boss fights, on the other hand, are a bit better with different mechanics being used to beat them. But when you compare the combat to the rest of the game, it feels like a big step backwards, like you're playing God of War on the PlayStation 2 or some other game from the early 2000s. You have a variety of abilities to use to make combat easier, but combat isn't exactly hard to begin with. It comes with the standard camera problems, stun locks, and path blocking that a lot of action games have, and I didn't enjoy combat during the entire game. But traversal is a different story. It feels like a Prince of Persia game, which is a big compliment from me. You have different powers to solve the puzzles in the world, and everything connects very smoothly. It's too bad that it's very linear, with each map basically being a corridor with a few places to check for items that are a bit out of the way of the main path. South of Midnight isn't an open world game, and I'm not saying that it should be, but it's very linear and on rails. Again, just like you would expect from a game from the 2000s. I enjoyed it, but I can see a lot of people not liking the gameplay of South of Midnight, which just doesn't match the same level of its story, graphics, and music. Speaking of music, it's incredible. It's another great soundtrack to match the phenomenal voice acting.
Oh, dang, mosquito, get off me.
Hey, Hazel.
Who's there?
You up here.
Where?
My salvation.
A talking fish. Nope. Ain't no way.
Old Weaver like you must have seen stranger things than me.
Let's break down the pros and cons of South of Midnight. For the pros, the game looks incredible with interesting environments that switch things up after each chapter. The story's really good with great voice acting and a banger soundtrack. It's a day one Game Pass release, making it affordable and easy to check out if you're on the fence or already have a Game Pass subscription. For the cons, combat sucks. There's no real way to sugarcoat it, it's bland and boring. The game is very linear with no side quests or side content. It's a 10-ish hour game, meaning the $40 price tag might be a bit much for some people. And that's it for another review. So, is South of Midnight worth playing? Absolutely. I thought it was a great game aside from its lackluster combat. I'm not sure if I would pay $40 US for it, but it was well worth checking out on Game Pass. For PlayStation, there's no word yet on when it's going to be released. I don't think South of Midnight will convert PlayStation 5 fans to the Xbox universe, but it's also on PC Game Pass if you have access to a PC like that as well. I'm the Casual Console Gamer, and I'll see you all in the next review.